man since I was 6. I tap dance all on them. And your diamonds like tap water. That drip.
Welcome in, everybody, on EA Sports. Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the Denver Broncos and the New York Jets. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So I'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. A few moments ago, the crowd here was on their feet as their beloved Jets made their way out of the tunnel. They're ready to go. We're ready to go. It should be a good one as those New York Jets get set to face off with the Denver Broncos. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Jets ball club. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Broncos, we're in October now, so everybody should be coming into form, shouldn't they?
They really should, and what you have now is a full routine established about what you want to get done and full focus on the season.
The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. As we take a peek at Sam Darnold, the former USC Trojan and 3rd pick in the 2018 draft.
There's a lot of good to watch in the game last week, wasn't there? I mean, he did throw 2 touchdown passes. That was impressive. And he's so close, isn't he? The 3 interceptions killed him and his team. That was costly. But if he just cleans that up a little bit, there's a reason for optimism with this team and this passer.
This is Bilal Powell. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. The offensive starters now for the Jets.
I don't know about... In 2017, 63 catches, 941 yards, and a strong candidate for the Pro Bowl. Didn't quite get there, but was knocking on the door. How about that for an undrafted free agent out of Temple, now making good in the NFL?
Now let's go! Blue line it! Blue line!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 10 yards is the pickup, good enough for a Jet first down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
They go play action here on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was a strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now a first carry for the former Cleveland Brown, Isaiah Isaiah Crowell takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4. On the defensive side of the ball here, the starters for Denver. They enter play here, number 11, just outside the top 10 in the league in stopping the run.
They're not an elite unit. They're not, as what you'd say, the top part of the league against the run. They're a solid group, though. They do a good job. What they're looking for in this one, though, is an elite performance.
And with a 3rd and 13 here, the defense in a dime look.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Darnold from the gun. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Brandon Marshall with a big-time sack on 3rd down, and it'll be a loss of 7. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
On 4th down, here's Lachlan Edwards to punt it. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
Leopard!
Here's Royce Freeman, the first carry for the rookie. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And he'll get this up past the 5 to the 7-yard line. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the gun on 3rd, Savage. This is Booker on the dump off. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware, a ball may come your way.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
There's Savage on 1st down. And that's complete to the tight end, Hireman. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 7 catches, 90 yards, and a touchdown. And I'd certainly expect them to use him quite a bit because he runs excellent routes, has good hands, and knows how to get open. There's Savage now on 2nd. And Sutton hauls it in over the middle. And they'll get him down here at the 23. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. Third and 2, Savage. Got him in. He finds Sanders. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another 1st down. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that. They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sidelines thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we? We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield. On 2nd down, Freeman. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Only a gain of a yard there, but it indeed gets him a new set of downs. 2nd and inches is oftentimes
an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in this paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? So in jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Savage from the shotgun snap. On a crossing route, he hits Demaryius Thomas. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is starting.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
And before they can get settled in here, time expires on the first quarter of action. 0-0 our score. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Savage. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's scooped up by the Jets. And a return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Hurry up, here we go.
So following the fumble recovery, here's Darnold. Got an open man, it's a noon one. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
On 2nd down, Darnold. He rifles one that's intercepted. Sua Cravens with a pick. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
After the interception, here's Savage. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
On 2nd and 10, Savage. And a hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Throwing on third down, it's Savage. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Sanders. Emmanuel Sanders. And he'll be down deep into Jet territory. A big play there on the catch and run. And even 60 yards.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Broncos with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll make it 3rd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
To throw on 3rd down, Savage. He's got a man. It's Mitchell. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
And caught by Sanders. Touchdown, Broncos. Emmanuel Sanders, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos are in for 6. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
McManus's point after is good, and that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And New York set to take the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Here we go. 319. 319.
Now a handoff to Corral. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
So 3rd and 5, defensively expecting pass. They've got 6 DBs out there.
Now let's go. 319. 319.
Darnold now to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This will be fielded at the 17. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. Here's Emmanuel Sanders now as he and the rest of the offense march back onto the field. He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far.
And you just know that mentally he feels like he's one catch away from turning it into a great game and starting on that road. And the defenders are well aware of that, too. They've got to figure out a way to not let that escalate. Keep him right in this zone here and call it a day, because otherwise he can really decimate them.
Better believe they are well aware of his playmaking ability. On 1st down, Savage. Sanders has it over the middle. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. So 2nd and inches after that 1st down completion went just shy of the marker.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Savage now to throw. And that's complete to Sanders. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. He is putting on a show in this 2nd quarter, racking up the receiving yards as he has a 1st down. And certainly a valuable tool to have in your kit, Emmanuel Sanders, and he's shown us quite a bit in this one.
And that's why they wanted to use him immediately. You know they come out of the locker room saying, let's get the ball to him, get our offense jump-started, and in this case, it's worked throughout the game. Thus, they have the lead.
2 minutes to go here in the 1st half. We'll come back to MetLife Stadium after this short timeout. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now Savage. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. Jordan Jenkins coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8. 3rd and long. It's Savage. Sutton reeling it in on the left side. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Solid gain of 18 yards and a Denver first down. Savage on first. Eluding the pressure right. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line.
Detroit!
On second down, here's Savage. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. Throwing again is Savage. It's caught by Sanders. And down inside the 15 he goes. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half.
All right, here we go.
Now inside the red zone, Savage. That's caught. It's Thomas. 12 more yards there and another first down. Savage wants to throw yet again. And that incompletion breaks a string of 5 straight connections. And it's second down.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
All right, now, look at 56. Here we go, 56. Boom,
To the air again, Savage. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. As his guys are in for 6, and the Broncos will extend their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Extra point from McManus is good. And it's now 14-0. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it ends with a Denver touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Now the Jets offense gets ready to head back on the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. So we come upon halftime with a visiting Bronco. You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. This will be taken in at the 1. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because What you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, if they can come back and win, can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Here's Savage. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Sutton. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion.
Here we go.
Back to throw, Savage. And he will have a man, Demaryius Thomas. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And he stopped immediately there. Buster Screen is able to bring him down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. Desmond Bryant in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Now Savage leading his guys up following the sack. They face a 3rd and long. Operating from the gun. Savage, nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, the teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So here's the Jets offense now as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out if that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%.
Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. Because I remember playing in these spots, and my coaches always say, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure.
They'll run it again with Crowell. And he'll get him a little space here up to the 5-yard line. David Emerson able to bring him down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down.
Let's go! Blue 90! Blue 90!
Now it's Darnold. They'll try to set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll be taken down for a loss back at the 3. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll bring up 4th down. Here's Lachlan Edwards now as he's on to punt for New York. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Taken from just outside the 30. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. They have, by the way, gone to the third quarter now at 4. Field in Detroit. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. Good starting position for the Broncos here as they come up 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Watch it now. Detroit! Detroit!
Savage. Throwing the slant pattern here complete. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time. Really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Darren Lee there to get him down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
All right, here we go.
To throw on second down is Savage. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Sutton. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Here we go now. 3, 19.
They'll try and run with Booker. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. So stuff for no gain on 2nd down brings up a pretty interesting 3rd from this distance.
I'm throwing the ball, and I'm not even thinking about play pass. I'm going to let him know right away I'm throwing it, but I'm probably giving my quarterback some room, sprint him out to one side or the other, and give him an opportunity. If it breaks down, he can take off and run for it.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
Now Savage on 3rd and goal. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
They had it 1st and goal, 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settle for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound right. It sounds a little counterintuitive. But you run out of space to run the deep routes, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, it's just not as much space. They end up having to take 3 there.
And New York set to take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working, and call more of that. He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Darnold from the gun. He's going to air one out. He's got a man. Complete. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's back now. Here on EA Sports, it's Jet football, but they trail here as we start the 4th quarter. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory, down at the 33.
Here we go now. Blue, landing.
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. This is Crowell on the catch. And he'll go down at the 28. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Here's Darnold. Now he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. While he gets attended to, we'll step aside. The Jets on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is going to be 3rd and 13. McCown giving to Powell on the draw. A beautiful spin and room to run. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Jet first down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
First throw now for the backup McCown. Going underneath for Crowell. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Now as we look down, it appears we've got a Jet shaken up on the play. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
Here we go, here we go.
Here's a give to Crowell. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. The Jets on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 11.
Let's go now. White 18. White 18.
Now it's the backup Sanchez. Dumps off to Powell. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first.
And I know you can't really see it, but that play spells frustration with a capital F for the guys on defense. They covered everyone else, end up going to the running back out of the backfield, and he picks up a back-breaking first down.
This is Crowell, and he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Let's go now. Black 35.
On 2nd down, here's Crowell. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
Well, as the play call comes in on 3rd down, you have to think about 4-down territory here. Down a few touchdowns, they need points, and they need big points.
They'll look to make it 3 for 3 on 3rd down conversions. They need a yard here.
Set. White 18. White 18. Hut.
Out of the gun, Sanchez. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Nick Boyle, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Jets are able to cut into this deficit. And so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And coming out now, the Broncos. They've been pretty anemic on this side of the football in the second half, just 3 points, and you just saw the touchdown go the other way, so it's a 2-score game. We're not done here yet.
I think everyone's on the edge of their seats now because they're anticipating what's coming, and I sense that everyone in the stadium knows they need to keep it on the ground. So if you're going to do that, hope the quarterback is stretched a little bit. Some bootlegs, right? Some fakes inside, getting out to the perimeter. Those might be open for him.
Savage now on second. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion. Kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
The Broncos on third down. Can't fault these numbers. 7 for 9 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, here's Savage. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Tremaine Johnson. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a jet touchdown. Well, don't change that channel just yet. This one may have gotten a bit more interesting.
Put down the remote, put down the clicker. This one looked like it was over. It looked like they were ready to seal the deal. But in doing so, by pitching it around a little bit, it cost them. We could have a great finish.
A little surprising they wouldn't go for 2, but this is up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. This one fielded at the 5. Turn here, he gets it out to the 25-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
A second down carry for Booker. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
But they didn't accomplish their goal. They didn't get a stop there, gave up another first down. They have all 3 timeouts in their pocket. I think defensively you've got to start thinking about using them here.
I was just going to ask you at what point you think now's the go time?
I think now's the go time. I don't think you sit back and wait because they can take a lot of time off the clock between plays and run 3 to 4 and really put you in a stressful spot.
Set. 3-19. Watch it now, boy. 3-19. Detroit. Detroit.
On first down, it's Savage. Sanders hands it over the middle. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it, and they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for second down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Looking to throw it here. Savage. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore. After the penalty, here's Freeman. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Now the Jets are going to burn another timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Now a handoff. It's Freeman. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Now on 4th and inches, they're going to want to talk this over. We get a timeout as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. Vance Joseph making his mark. His guys will go on 4th down. They're going to go. It's Booker. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. That one a backbreaker as they wind up converting there on 4th. But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Here's Freeman. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee, and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
Well, Charles, we saw a comeback bid fall just a little short, but give them credit. They were able to hold on, withstand that comeback, and ultimately win it by the slim margin.
And bottom line, when it's all said and done, they don't ask you how much you won by. They just want to know, did you win? and that they did.
So for the Broncos, they move back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year on the LA Rams. Meanwhile, for the Jets, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home against the Indianapolis Colts. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash coming in. Come get your man, Slim Booker bugging me. Just see the bag, quit all that jaw jackery. Don't even be that, I don't want none of it. He's mad about it, had enough of it. Whoa, watch what you saying, how that poppin' is shaking. Is a laser, my posse deep and irate, and we act a fool for the paper. Had a dream and I made it. El Camino on Dayton's, bitches guess over bait. Put the bread on me, that on my bacon. Big and flat in the bacon. I might just roll out today. I might just roll out to Vegas, head back to my old ways. Cop a roof all day. Look at me, baby. Look at me, baby. Don't I look like a million? I'm about to clean out the safe. Don't I look like somebody that just be bodying everything? All that talking is great, but I don't be talking. I air it out. All the problems have gotten easy to bury. I'd rather kiss on my. I've been broke way longer than I've been rich, so until it levels out, I'ma take mama to the Marriott and took me so long to get it, gonna spread it out. Let them know all about me when I'm dead and gone. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the hand, one in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. I'ma need all the fries you can give me, all the hot sauce, all the pie you can give me. Better be all or nothing, don't have me in the middle. You better be all you can, yeah. Super fly for the dumbos, plenty slides I can shuffle.